For too long, Nassau County has been a rich uncle to school districts and municipalities. The county has picked up the entire tab for tax refunds, even though it only gets roughly 20% of the revenue collected. The problem stems from the convoluted way property taxes are collected in Nassau, the only place in the state where a county acts as assessor. Nassau asked for the designation back in 1938 and has since assigned values and collected taxes not only for its portion of the property tax bill, but also for schools, towns, villages, and special districts. Refunds historically average about $100 million a year, mostly to commercial property owners. So, on average, the county has been on the hook for giving back $80 million a year that it never really saw. Borrowing for those payments pushed Nassau close to bankruptcy once, and the county is returning to this risky practice to pay refunds. Ending this craziness isn't easy politically, because shifting the true cost of the refunds to the schools could result in the county's elected officials being blamed for the shortfall. And it is because of that that the legislator, Roger Corbin, has filed a lawsuit saying the refund guarantee is unfair to minority communities. He argues that most refunds are for taxes that benefited rich school districts with large commercial tax bases, such as Manhasset or Garden City, but that all county taxpayers are shouldering the cost. The school districts have a valid claim that they are trapped in the system, and if the assessor overcharges, it's really the county's problem. But if schools and villages pocket the money, they are hardly innocent victims. The legal system may be a tool to get out from under this burden, but the fairest solution is probably a political one. The school district and the county should negotiate a gradual shift of the repayments, possibly giving the schools a few years to establish a refund reserve fund. The lesson of this economic crisis is that you cannot spend money you don't have. And that's just what the schools and the county have been doing. The transition from warrior to veteran is tough enough without the maze of starting care at VA hospitals. One major obstacle is that the Department of Defense and the Departments of Veterans Affairs don't share a medical records system. Last week, President Barack Obama took a big step forward, untangling that complexity. Before an audience including veterans and the heads of the two departments, Obama pledged to create a seamless electronic system that will contain their administrative and medical information from the day they first enlisted to the day that they are laid to rest. Once the departments accomplish that mission, it will free veterans from the burden of acting as records messengers between two huge bureaucracies. It won't eliminate the backlog of disability claims, but it's a good first step. The president said his budget proposes the largest single-year increase for veterans in decades, and he supported legislation to fund the VA a year in advance to eliminate the dislocation of late budgets. These actions will go a long way toward honoring the nation's debt to its veterans. Deborah DeWark rightly suggests adding a question for the Seder table, a fifth question for the Passover Seder. Opinion, April 10th. What will become of these refugees, these wanderers, if the people of the world are bystanders to persecution and genocide? She identifies those wanderers as the Jewish victims of the Nazis, the Soviet Union, and the Arab states. She includes non-Jews who have suffered in the recent past, Rwandans, Congolese, and millions of innocents from the Sudan and Iraq who have been evicted from their land and homes by violence. It may be an innocent oversight or a failure to consider them as victims, but where are the legislators?